Another fireside chat coming your way on embracing change. Please welcome our speaker for the session, Meena Ganesh, co-founder and chairperson, Portea Medical. A round of applause, please, for Ms. Ganesh. And to moderate the session, please put your hands together for Susheela Venkataraman, Chair, Arogya World India Trust, Honorary Joint Secretary, IIT Alumni Centre, Bangalore. A round of applause, please, for Ms. Susheela Venkataraman.
Thank you. And I just want to say thank you, Priyanka, for inviting me to this wonderful, exciting event. And I'm indeed honored to be hosting this conversation with Meena. Meena, apart from being an absolutely illustrious professional, is also a very nice person, someone whom it's very easy to have a conversation with. And of course, extremely inspiring and all of that. So we are hoping that in these remaining 15 minutes, what we will do is, because given the diversity of the audience, we thought we would look at some experiences that she can share around competencies that are very important for every one of us in the coming years. And we know that this is a world that is very turbulent, that is very chaotic. And what can we do to help all of us navigate through these chaos? So with that, I'll start asking you a few questions. We've always been told that understanding the customer is very important. How did personal experience help you shape what Portea is? And there are many of us in organizations where we may not have that personal experience of whatever that offering is. What can one do in that case?
Sure. Thank you, Susheela, for your kind words, and many thanks to ET Now for inviting me here. My journey of many years, and I have a young lady who is my daughter's classmate and who's a startup founder, so I'm dated like anything. But that said, I've been a startup founder for the last 24 years, building businesses across multiple sectors, and in each one of them, what I've made a real attempt is to understand what the customer's requirements are. But nothing more closer to the heart than my latest one, Portea Medical, which is a outside of hospital healthcare company. I started this company in 2013 after we sold Tutor Vista to Pearson and exited. Now, I was always very fascinated by the healthcare sector and was interested in seeing what in healthcare could I possibly come into and disrupt. And my own personal experiences of managing the health of my elderly parents showed me that the hospital sector is pretty well funded, good quality, hospitals are available, good clinical outcomes can be expected. But the moment you step out of a hospital, the support that you get is pretty much negligible. There is no quality that you can rely on. You cannot be sure that people will actually even land up on time and so on. And there's a very funny personal anecdote there that I want to share. My father was suffering from cancer. We had taken him to Manipal, surgery done, all those good things. Got him home, and then I needed a nurse to look after him, because if the nurse comes, I go to work. It was straightforward. You come in, I go. There's no other choice. Nothing else to be done. And every morning it was my job from 7 o'clock to start chasing the nurse. Are you coming? Yes. But I don't hear any sounds. Are you on the road? No, mom, I'm in an auto, but I can't hear any sound, road sounds. How are you in an auto? So starting from there to not knowing the quality of the nurse. She used to come and do something. I didn't have a choice. I guess she knew what she was doing. All of that made me realize that there was something very starkly missing in this part of the healthcare ecosystem. So I spent about 6 months studying that, met a lot of healthcare professionals. I myself don't have a healthcare background. So sometimes it helps to be from an outside the industry. You come with a fresh pair of eyes. People are perhaps very skeptical of what you were talking about, but you can see the warts, you can see the gaps, you can see what's not working. So that is something that really helped me. And thereafter, I started to build the business, and every step, and the company is now more than 11 years old, but at every step, it's the customers who've told me what I need to do next. So over the years, we've grown massively. We've become a all India player. We have 3,000 people on our rolls. We support customers, millions of customers. But each of the new services that we added was because some customer told me what is missing in their lives and what they need from me. Now, your second part of your question, I'm just reflecting on that, that when I was working with Tesco, in between two of my startups, I was with Tesco, which is a UK retailer, and I set up their entire back office and technology center in Bangalore. It's quite a big facility in Whitefield now. But I had never worked in a retail organization. I had never seen how it is to, what happens in a store. So one of the things that Tesco used to do very, very rigorously, that everybody, any senior person beyond a certain level, had to work for 1 week in a store. You just have to work for 1 week in a store, irrespective of which geography you are in. So I did my own stint for every year. I used to go and spend a week. So that really helps you understand what's going wrong, right, in the customer's domain.
Thanks. No, that's fine. I think it actually leads very nicely into the next question, which is whether as Portea or Bahar Foundation, you do a lot of work collaborating with others, other organizations, government, NGOs, etc. How important is the ability to collaborate in the world that we are in, given that each of us carries and brings in certain context and a certain expertise? How important?
Yeah, no, it's a very good question, and I'll answer it at multiple levels. One is collaboration as a startup team, and many of you may be startup founders. I always found it important to get people of completely diverse skills, either as a part of my co-founding team or as a part of my leadership team. They should look, feel, think differently than me. They should have a different emotional quotient, because that tension that it creates is what helps you. And tension plus collaboration, when that comes together, you make a better outcome. So that is at one level. The second, as a ecosystem player, Portea, healthcare, you have to need to work with everybody, be it the government, be it other healthcare players and insurance companies, what have you. And the third very interesting example of collaboration is when COVID hit. None of us in the healthcare sector knew what to do. It was really amazing. I've never managed to meet a lot of the senior government officials in my entire time before that, but all of us came on a WhatsApp group, mind you, and we used to post on the WhatsApp group what we should do. And some very senior government official, some Apollo, Sangeeta Reddy will respond, Dr. Rehan will respond. All of us are coming together to solve this problem that none of us knew about. So in a crisis situation, nothing like collaboration, and it really helped. I think India is a very good example of how we managed to navigate this really horrible crisis that hit this country and the whole world, actually.
We are also in a very chaotic world, and jobs that existed in a certain form in, say, 5 years ago don't exist today in that form, which means that people need to be able to adapt a lot and also build resilience to all these ups and downs. What are some of your experiences?
Sure. So it's not just now. If you are ever in a startup world, you need resilience and you need adaptability. My own startup journey comes across so many different sectors. Each of them was new learning, no ego, just keep your ego aside, learn all over again. Adapt to what the new customer segment is looking at, and also adapt to very, very critical crisis situation. My first startup customer asset was a BPO company. And within a few months of us starting the company as an internet customer support organization, suddenly it was the downfall of the web 1.0. This was the year 2000. And we had to then literally reinvent ourselves. And what are we going to do? We are going to become a call center. Fine. Raise a different kind of money, start building it out. Very good. Then 9/11 comes. No money, no investor, can't pay anybody's salaries. It was just my first experience of startup, and also a very, very challenging experience. But that was just that. Every startup that I've gone through has gone through ups and downs. So the resilience and perseverance that you need if you want to ever be a startup founder is definitely very, very critical and very high. Now, from an adaptability in the current circumstances, that's another story altogether. The pace of change in every sector, I mean, technology, of course, is changing. The expectations of equitable society, the expectation of a sustainable organizations, all of this is putting huge amount of pressure on companies, which means that the individuals and the jobs, all of those are changing. So as individuals, how do you keep learning and growing? How do you learn from everybody around you? Learning is not just from your peer or your senior. Learnings can be very much from the younger generation. Most of my companies, everybody is much younger and much younger than me, and maybe the age of my children or even younger than that. But that is the exciting part. There's so much of energy, so much of enthusiasm in them to learn. Can you suck that up? Can you be open to that and not feel that you need to have all the answers? Just because you're a leader, you have to lead the way. No, as a leader, you have to have a vision, but you also need the humility to say, I don't know this. Can you find out? Can you tell me? I want to learn, and then I will lead you because I have experience. Bringing the two together, your humility and openness to learn, and then helping the organization move forward is something which is very critical as a leader in the new age of dramatic changes that we're seeing around us.
Well said. So, in this whole mad world that we're going through now, how can someone retain their sanity, be happy, and generally deal with life?
It's a very it's a very philosophical question, but a very valid question. I agree with you, Susheela. It is we all know that mental health is a big challenge. It has probably been always, but was always sort of hidden under the carpet, never something that was spoken about. But also perhaps the change is so dynamic today that the pressure on people is much higher. Everything is out in the open. You know, you're laying out your entire life on social media for other people to comment on, or for you to look at that and feel sorry for yourself. So whatever it is, the pressure on us is very high. And especially if you're a founder of a startup, the pressures are even more amplified. So how do you find your center and stay in that is very critical. First, one of the first things that I try to learn and try to imbibe is that life is a marathon, okay? Don't try to constantly run the sprints. You'll just feel burnt out and you're not going to get anywhere because things don't happen in short time. It does take time for everything to happen, so it's okay if things happen slowly. Second, don't try to be a superwoman, super person, whatever it is. Take help, be vulnerable, share that you have certain limitations, you can't do certain things. The universe will rise up to support you. I have been through that over the last 25 years of my startup career, and another 10 years prior to that of my corporate career. The first 10 years I did not ask for help. Over the last 10 to 15 years, I learned that I was an idiot for not asking for help. So ask for help. Third, find your own tools that you can use, whether it is meditation, whether it is good exercise to keep yourself fit. And the more physically fit that you are, the mentally well you will feel as well. So those are just some of my tips that I would offer.
Yeah, when we are in an aircraft, they tell us, put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you go and help others. Absolutely. Maybe one last little bit of philosophy then from you. A lot of us want to do something in our lives, but we keep putting it off for let's finish this or that and so on. But when I look at your career and what you've done, it's all been about let's just step out and do something, And so you've not waited for permission. You've just done what you felt was needed to be done. What words of advice would you have to share with
You said it. Just do it. But, as an anecdote, when I started my first startup, I had a 6-month-old son and I started a BPO company, which was a 24/7 call center. What an idiot I was. But that apart, it was really brutal. But I had my family, which was always stepping up to support me, and my husband was my co-founder. Charu, and we've learned a lot working together. The last 24 years, all the startups we've done together. So I can write a book on how to work with your spouse and still remain married and still remain sane. Sure. So yes, where I got lost on the question answer. No. So the question is, I always believe that you make the mistakes and take and then apologize for the mistake and just get on and do this. But I'll tell you, this is not how I was born. Okay, I came from a very very conservative Tam family. You know, the government parents and all that. Nobody expected me to do anything, study, get married, have kids, whatever. So that's the culture I came. I think I got lucky that I had a lot of opportunities to work in startup-ish kind of situations. When I first career after IIM was with NIIT, which was a startup then. So then, you just go do, because the company didn't want people to ask for permission. They didn't have time to give me permission. They said, "Dude, figure it out. If you make a mistake, we'll cover you. Don't worry." So literally, my starting of my career got tuned in that fashion. So I got lucky, I think, in that way.
And we all of us, I think what we've heard from today's session with Meena is, all of us have it in ourselves to take that permission into our own hands and step out, do what we want to do, enjoy what we're doing, and just break everything that stops us from doing what we want to do, achieve our dreams. With that, thank you very much, Meena, and thank you all for being a wonderful audience.
Thanks a lot, Susheela, for wonderful moderation. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time, please, for Ms. Meena Ganesh and Ms. Susheela Venkataraman. Thank you so much.